Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a Legacy video every Friday. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the Patreon. Here you can gain access to continuously updated documents like a sideboard guide, a primer on Legacy Doomsday, and gain access to the Neville Shoot Discord server. So come join the community at patreon.com/NevilleShootMTG. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Martin here back with another Legacy video, and today I wanted to try something a little bit different, which is to play a bug tempo Doomsday deck. So basically, I last video I tried Turbo and got just my face, smashed. So that's not to say that I don't think Turbo has any merit, but yeah, I don't know. It felt a little bit like a struggle. So I wanted to play Tempo today, but I wanted to try something different. I've been enjoying my regular Demir Tempo list, but I wanted to try Bug. And in order to make room for a third color, I've made the decision to cut the Wastelands, which I am very concerned about and interested in seeing how it plays out. Because I think the Wastelands is what kind of lets you play tempo versus especially like big mana non-blue stuff. So Mystic Forge, of which I haven't really played against a lot lately, so who knows. I feel like that deck maybe is a bit on a bit of a downturn, but yeah, interested to see how this plays without the Wastelands. And I'm also I know some people really love Bug and swear to Bug. I've not loved Bug myself. I felt like, especially in the main deck, there is not a lot that you want. I have one Veil of Summer here, which is a card that I notoriously kind of dislike in Doomsday. Um, it's just, I mean, obviously the ceiling of the card is incredible, but the floor I think is just also incredibly low. Having Veil of Summers in your hand versus like non-blue decks is typically not ideal. Of course, it's very good against Thoughtseize, so there is that. But the real payoff for being Bug Colors is that you get Carpet of Flowers. And I think, so basically I would expect this to improve my tempo matchup, which is, I think, important because I think while Izzet Tempo is a pretty decent matchup with this deck, Dimir Tempo is pretty hard. It's not, you're not like a massive underdog, but it is pretty, unpleasant. You really need to win game one, I think, versus Demir Tempo. And I think this gives us some more tools there. So with that said, let's go jump into a league. All right, on the play for round number one. And wow, the Hedge Maze. The Hedge Maze. I will keep this. This is potentially turned to a Daze Protected Tameo plus Barrelgoyf, but we do need to find a land here. I'll actually put Brainstorm in the graveyard. Maybe it's a bit of a giveaway here, but yeah, if we get Wastelanded here, having a Brainstorm is not going to do us any good. Dark Ritual, I will Daze this instantaneously. I just don't want to see a discard spell and a Bowmasters or whatever this nonsense is come out. Oh, when we draw Force of Will, which is really lucky against what is pretty clearly some kind of shenanigans deck here. Okay. Double Swamp. What deck plays Double Swamp? Yeah, they had Thoughtseize. Okay. So hopefully they can't just combo through here, but we are losing Force of Will, I'm fairly certain. And Nethergoyf. Okay. So maybe some kind of mono black sort of aggro deck. Come on with a black mana deck. I'll take Tameo though. And I guess the Daze. I mean, I'll have to take the Daze. Look at all that. Oh, look at all those lands over there. Maybe they tab out for a Barrelgoyf here and we get some Daze equity. Nope. Just a pretty nasty card for us. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. Fatal Push. I guess I'll Daze, though. Like, I keep running back on lands here, which is not great. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Alright, we get our clue, and well, no, I'll put Thoughtseize in the void here. If they want to, lose their Dothi to Thoughtseize me, that's fine. Take 6 here, and they pass. Land. Oh my god. Well, I mean, the good news is if we get a land, we get to win if they can't like interact with us, because we can double ritual and then use a clue to draw a brainstorm. Oppo agent. I don't think so. But we do lose to a bunch of stuff here, like Bowmasters or more discard. Now, if they hold back the Dothi, they have Force of Will, but I understand why that wouldn't be a thing they would do. We drop to 3. Okay, land has to be now. We do get the land. I don't think attacking or not with Dothi or with Tamiyo makes a difference here. So yeah, let's go for the glory here. I hope they have 3 lands over there. This could be another Oppo agent. Okay, so I just have to build like they have nothing. So we'll cycle, or not cycle. We will crack a clue and draw Brainstorm. Brainstorm will draw Consider, LED, and Edge of Autumn. And then Thassa will be our bottom card. They've been fairly disciplined if they have kept a Bowmasters in their hand this whole time, but that could be it. Alright, let's draw. Oh no, they have it. Okay. Yeah, nothing to be done there. Okay, so I guess I board in my second Veil, because that's good here. I probably wouldn't hate having some creature removal here, like Decay and Long Goodbye and Bitter Triumph, maybe? Or maybe Fatal Push is better. Question is how much of a Doomsday deck do I want to be? I probably want to be it more here on the play than maybe if there was a game 3. I think I board out the Brazen Borrowers. I just like this removal better. And how good are my creatures here? We've seen Dothi Voidwalker, so maybe the Murktide can go. Having a Bowmasters to kill their Bowmasters is something, I guess. I think I'll board out the Barrel Wave here. And then if there is a game 3, I might go heavy on creatures and just board out of Doomsday altogether. Oh, come on! I'm playing 17 lands, which I think I think my normal setup would be 15 or 16 lands and then like 3 or 4 Lotus Petals in Turbo. So 17 lands plus 1 petal. It might be 1 land too few. I don't know. Mulligan. I'll keep, but this sucks. And I will actually get rid of Cavern of Souls, which might seem nuts, seeing as I am pining for lands here, but I still think it's correct because I want to probably like daze multiple times while I'm looking for. Oh, that's it. That is it. I can even daze here, so let's draw the Brainstorm. Yeah. Okay, that was very good. Hopefully they don't play Lotus Petals or something, so we can daze their turn 1 discard or Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize, get out of here. All right, and now we get to win on this next turn here, which is nice, unless they're playing like Mindbreak Trap or Surgical Extraction. It looks like they aren't. They're just F6 in. Okay, so we've made our land drop. So Edge of Autumn needs to cycle into Lotus Petal. Brainstorm then draws LED, Consider, and Street Wraith. And then we have Thassa on the bottom. Alright, here we go. We cycle the Edge, draw the Petal, cast our Brainstorm, put back Daze as the blank with Consider on top. And let's crack this LED. And that's pretty much it. We get to put Thassa on the stack with an empty library. Alright, I think I will board out of Doomsday for game 3. So let's board in, maybe not the Force of Negations, though I'm not sure. But the Murktides, the Flusterstorm, the Brazen Borrowers, all the black cards. And let's board out Doomsday, Thassa's Oracle, and LED to start. Then I guess Edge of Autumn can go, and the 2 Street Wraith can go. And then I think it's between, is consider, like on the margin here, is consider better than a Thoughtseize or a Dark Ritual. 3 Dark Rituals is probably better than 4. Maybe 2 Dark Rituals and 1 Street Wraith is better. Maybe no Dark Rituals and a Street Wraith number 2 and a Force of Negation. I know that might seem a little bit wonky here, but yeah, especially on the draw, Dark Ritual is like, it's a very soft card if you're trying to grind. Again, no lands. Seriously, deck. Mulligan. Okay, we bought him one of our lands, I think, or is it one of the removal spells? Yeah, maybe it's a removal spell. Let's get rid of our opponent. Also mulligan to 6. Dark Ritual. I will force this. This is very aggressive, but if they're stuck on like 1 land, then this could really pay off. And I will Underground Sea here. I thought about playing out the Catacombs, but I just don't want to get got by Opposition Agent. They did have another land. Boo. Stalactite Stalker, sure. We can kill that one. Question is if we need to. Let's pass. This says whenever a card goes into your graveyard from anywhere, right? A permanent card. Okay. So it has to be a permanent card. Okay, they're passing. I'm not going to brainstorm into a Bowmasters here. That would be very bad. Do I play out this Barrowgoyf? Alright, I'm going to fetch, and then we can snuff out or like get out the Oppo agent if they have one. Looks like they don't. I'm going to get Bayou here, get my colors all sorted, and I'll try and play this Barrowgoyf. And hopefully I won't get like run over next turn. Maybe they had discard and they were like really respecting Veil of Summer. Wow, they had the Oppo agent? That's really interesting. They didn't try and get my fetch land. Incredible discipline. Okay, now I don't want to get discarded because I want this long goodbye to kill the Oppo agent. Another Goyf, okay. If they attack here, I have to decide if I think they have a Bowmasters. Because if they do, then that will kill my Barrowgoyf. I think I'm just gonna not risk that. And now this grows. Veil is a good draw here. Like, this Oppo agent isn't doing a whole lot right now. So I could attack here, see what they want to do about it. If they want to like double block or something, I can kill one of their things. They just want to chump with the Nether Goyf. Okay, I think that's okay. Oh no. Then this gets minus X, where X. Okay, now I have to try and figure something out here. Does Veil help me here? Because this is an activated ability of a black thing, but is the ability black? It certainly looks black. So I could Veil here, but I could also save my Veil and then just long goodbye this Nether Goyf, which I think I will. And I think I'll just pass here, keep up Veil rather than cast Ponder. And they do attack because they're not interested in giving up this as a blocker. 5 black mana. I'm not hating my spot here, I have to say. I will Barrowgoyf. I wonder if I'm supposed to brainstorm right now. I think I will. No, I'll wait until the trigger is on the stack here. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Brainstorm, and that just happened. Amazing. I guess I will put back the Barrowgoyf so they see that I have that, so they don't know about the Bowmasters. I will trigger here, get my Barrowgoyf. I don't think I can lose now, but you know, things have, stranger things have happened, I guess. Yeah, alright. An opponent taps out. I respect it. Off to round number 2. Alright, on the draw with my 2 surveillance. This is getting a little bit silly here, but I'll keep. Not loving it though. But I'm not loving mulliganing all this much either. Maybe this is supposed to be a mulligan. Like if I was on the play, then no. I think I'm okay with it, but having no days or force here and and up against oops all spells. Okay. Well, here is their informer. Do they also have a spirit guide? And of course they do. Okay, let's have a look at their deck. Okay, so I see Pact of Negation here. I see no Summoner's Pact, which I think means they're not on the Witherbloom Apprentice Chain of Smog combo. Chancellor of the Annex. One random Chancellor of the Annex. That's interesting. Because they have 2 cards in hand. The Thassa's in the graveyard. I don't see the Dread Return, but they have they have 1 Narcomoeba. Do they have the ability to do everything here? Because they're supposed to. They flashback Cabal Therapy, and that triggers the Poxwalkers. So they get 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so they will Cabal Therapy themselves, getting Dread. No, Dread Return is right there, so never mind. It's all good. I will concede. All right, so we want the second Veil of Summer, Flusterstorm, and Force of Negation, and Hill Spellbomb, and we will cut Barrogoyf. We will cut Bowmasters. We will cut Murktide. I guess cutting Brazen Borrowers, is that better than cutting Murktide? Murktide is a very slow win condition here, but if we do settle into like a control game, I guess it could be worse. We don't need Cavern of Souls, but I am a little bit reticent of cutting lands. Just no, but let's cut the Cavern and replace it with what? I don't know. Like, is Abrupt Decay like as a marginal thing here better? Can kill like if they have like Rotting Regisaur or Barrogoyf, it can kill that, and it can like if they just choose to play out Lotus Petals and float them, it kind of stone rains them. Yeah, let's try this. Can't keep this. Come on. Okay. I will keep this and settle into the lamest of Magic games. I'll get rid of Dark Ritual. And I will pass. Double Force. I don't expect to win. But we will see. This has been quite the disaster show of stuff here. Of like wonky opening hands. Okay, the play land tapped. So there's a Lotus Petal. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you could argue that I should be forcing that. Okay, I'll keep that in as well. They didn't sap this in, so they won't be going on turn 1. They just need a Thoughtseize here or Cabal Therapy and clear the way for Force of Will, and then because Force of Negation is not going to interfere with their win, it will. This is to counter like a Pact of Negation, Goblin Charbelcher. Okay, I guess that does actually matter. So let's pitch this Murktide. That was a 3 for 2. Land! No. Why would there be a land? Come on, deck! Okay, well, hopefully they can't just resend here. Okay, they can't. Land! Do you hear me, deck? Land! Nope. I'm sure there's nothing more awesome than hearing, content creators whine and moan over Magic Online. There we go, land. Oh, I love you, land. I think the question is, do I keep up Flusterstorm here or do I crack the spell bomb? Not crack the spell bomb. I mean, play the spell bomb. I think I play the spell bomb. The thing is, Spellbomb isn't even that great because they can like respond. Like so they mill over their deck, let's say they get Narcomoeba triggers on the stack. If I crack the spell bomb there, they can flash back the thing. What's it called? Memory's Journey. That will trigger their guys. Then their guys will be in play, the Poxwalkers. But at least Thassa will go away. So I think I will brainstorm here, looking for a second land. Well, I found one, but it wasn't really the second land I was hoping for or dreaming about. Okay, I will hide the Flusterstorm just in case there is a Thoughtseize in my immediate future. I could also hit hide Force of Will and then draw it with the spell bomb, but then my spell bomb is gone. Okay, through passing. So I think I am going to play Tameo. I know this sucks because I'm leaving Flusterstorm down, but I'm just betting that Force plus spell bomb will carry me through one more turn, because if not, then I'm drawing another stupid thing. Okay, they just sapped that in, so why would they do that? It's another elbow tap. It's the Balustrade Spy. I think I forced this pretty easily, actually. If they have another Belcher, then that's a problem. But, then that's a problem. That might actually be what it is, like a bait spell. But, I know I had the Spellbomb, but I would be facing... I think... Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because, yeah, I don't think they can cast the Memory's Journey. Dread Return on that one. I guess I fluster that. Maybe I'm, again, not supposed to do that and just keep fluster for the Memory's Journey. But I think Memory's Journey, or Poxwalker says when you cast, not when it resolves. That was a very good draw. I could also just nuke their graveyard right now, and then Dread Return is gone, and they're never getting Thassa back. Maybe they can still do something. They can, like, combo, then Memory's Journey, 2 Lotus Petals, and Thassa to the top of their deck. Okay, I think I will let this happen. There's a good chance they hit something here. Force of Will is a reasonable name, though there is one gone already. I am worried about that because that tells me that they named the card that most likely that they were most afraid of would, interfere with them. Not just a value, like what's he most likely to have. It's this Belcher. Okay, so it's the Spy. So where does that leave us? I think there is a real argument to be made for nuking the graveyard right now. So if I do that, they lose Dread Return. They aren't playing 2 of those. So that basically means, so they get to, like, have a bunch of Poxwalkers. What are my odds of beating that? But if I don't, then it's kind of the same thing, right? Except they don't also get Narcomoebas, and their deck, like, they have to kill me in a couple of turns. Yeah, I think I let this enter and let this happen. 1 Narcomoeba. So let's have a look here. So there's the Memory's Journey, and they get all their Poxwalkers because that's how that card works. Am I supposed to wait here? Let's say they Cabal Therapy. Like, right now, they have 1 thing in the graveyard. Well, one Narcomoeba coming in. So they Cabal Therapy, then I nuke the graveyard, but then they can just go over the top with Memory's Journey. Like, the Poxwalkers will get triggered, they'll just get triggered again. Yeah, I think I do nuke now. Get rid of that. No need to give them a free Cabal Therapy. I'll pay. Okay, that wasn't amazing. And now's when they need to act, right? They need to cast the Memory Journey. They probably have to make it like Thassa Petal, which might just be good enough, but it does give me a couple of turns to find a counterspell of some sort. I can flip my Tameo next turn. Yeah, Memory Journey. They target Petal. Just bring this up again. The Memory's Journey is targeting Thassa Petal. No! Jack-O-Lantern. Why Jack-O-Lantern? How does this work? So Jack-O-Lantern can exile a card from graveyard to draw. It can also exile... Okay, so they are going to exile that. It's going to speed things up, basically. So they exile this to draw a card. No, sacrifice this to draw a card, and then they can exile this to add blue mana. That makes sense. 4 stupid Poxwalkers. Those might just like be enough to beat me fair and square here. All right, so I feel like I probably have to flip Tamio next turn to not die. Or hang on, do I have enough to win here? I need to draw Brainstorm or a Dark Ritual or a Lotus Petal. Yeah, let's draw this. Or Lion's Eye Diamond. Sweet. Never mind. You die. Because I'm also a combo deck. I just almost forgot. I'm not going to attack with Tamio. Doesn't matter. So we edge into consider away, like something, doesn't matter, Lotus Petal, draw Street Wraith, cycle the Street Wraith into the Thassa. Alright, sweet. And we put consider on top. We cycle the edge, maintain priority, sack LED for blue. We put Petal in the graveyard. Oh yeah, that flips Tamio, sure. I'll plus Tamio, let them know I'm here. Cycle 2 Wraiths, and Thassa is going to be winning the game for us momentarily. If they have a Pact of Negation here, it doesn't matter, because then they pact and then they lose on their upkeep. Alright, cool. Game 3. Whew, didn't think that was going to materialize. Don't think we're going to be doing anything here. Maybe, just maybe, we're supposed to have a Brazen Borrower over an Abrupt Decay, because there is a world where they go like Petal, Spirit Guide, Dark Ritual out, Charbelcher, and then pass. And then it's nice to like postpone death, I guess. Yeah. Wait, was I on 61 cards this whole time in the last game? Yikes. That's probably not so good. I'll probably want to shave. I think consider lets us win. I'll get rid of a Tamio. Okay, this is a mulligan. I think it's too much of a risk to keep nothing. Well, this is not great, but I think I'll keep it. This is still nothing, but it's something if I get a turn. They open with Chancellor. Yikes. Hopefully that means they don't also have the send, but if they do, I never had a chance. Okay, looks like they did. Fuck off. Yeah, I understand why people get so bent out of shape playing against this deck. That's not to say that I think it should be like banned, because I honestly don't think so. I think it needs to put up better results than that. But I do understand it is a very frustrating experience. They get all their things. Do they have all they need? They have the Thassa. Yeah, they have to return. GG's. I mean, that was the nuts. If you have on the play Chancellor and same turn win, then basically you're asking your opponent to have 2 Force of Wills and 2 blue cards to have a chance. And I didn't count the Pact of Negation. So I mean, what they had a land and a Petal and a Dark Ritual and Spy and Chancellor. That's 5 cards, right? Okay, we're on the draw here. Again, punished by our land base. This is beginning to be something of a pattern here. So we have to mulligan, and we will keep this. I think I'll get rid of the swamp. That's probably the land I am least interested in playing out. Plateau. Sweet! Up against Ocelot Pride. And I wonder if I'm supposed to play out this Tamio. No, I'll play it out. It might have been better to get the surveilled, but Tamio might do some work here. They have Wasteland, damn. Yep, got it. And do I care about Plow on Tamio? I think I'll save my force and then I'll force the next creature, because this on its own, yeah, it'll poop out another 1/1, but it's not like giving creatures a lot of pluses or, gaining cards like Amp Raptor or whatever. Okay. Pass, I guess. And they're passing. Okay. I'll let them get the cat and then I'll surveil. I think I need a Dark Ritual here, and then I need a Cycler or a Brainstorm. I'll get Undercity Sewers. Count of Souls. Nope. Thoughtseize. That's not what I want at all. I don't think I can afford to take the damage right now. And I don't think I care. Like, the card I would care about is Lightning Bolt, but then if I Thoughtseize it, they just bolt me. I take 3, and I kind of want to Surveil, but I also don't want Hedge Maze here. Okay. So let's see. I take 4, I go to 8. I fetch twice, I go to 6. I Doomsday, I go to 3, so I can still cycle the Street Wraith, but then that means I can't force. And also, it means I have to hit a land or a Dark Ritual that's not, like, I have to hit something that's not a fetch land, basically. They like what they saw, so they put it on top. Ah, oh, Wasteland, get out! Okay, now I think I have to fetch Hedge Maze and hit a Dark Ritual. So let's try that. Hit Doomsday. Nope. Brazen Borrower. Nope, that's not going to do it. I mean, we could bounce one of their things. We go to 3, and then I fetch, I guess. But the Street Wraith is out. I could also have Cycle Street Wraith. Maybe that was a little bit silly. Like, if I Cycle Street Wraith and I hit, like, Brainstorm and then Brainstorm into Edge of Autumn and a land, then suddenly we're playing the game. But, yeah. Okay, this is not a deck to try and play tempo against, I think. I don't think we want Barrogoyf. Bowmasters kills things, at least. And Murktide can, like, fly over and be big. Tamiyo is just really not very good. Veil of Summer also looks pretty terrible. Yeah, I guess we can bring in a Fatal Push. Yeah, let's try this. Maybe I think I have some thoughts on the composition of this deck. I think I am at least one Lotus Petal too few, and I have concerns about my choice to adopt Hedge Maze. I think Hedge Maze probably should have been Undercity Sewers. Like, I think I'm a little bit light on, like, being on just one. I caught both an Underground Sea and an Undercity Sewers to adopt the green mana base, the green splash. Okay, let's see how we do here. I'll keep this. I will just float a land and ponder. If they have Wasteland, they do, but I think we need to advance our game here. Yeah, let's grab this Bayou, and then we can draw Murktide, I guess, and then we'll have like a turn 3 same turn win. As things stand right now, if they don't Wasteland us or Deafening Silence us or something. Okay, Guide of Souls, you got it. And I will Surveil if nothing else major happens here. If they Wasteland me, this gives me a chance to find a Lotus Petal or a Dark Ritual. Ocelot Pride. I would love for them to tap out here so that I don't have to worry about something like a Pyroblast or something. They did show us red mana. Oh, really? Damn. Oh, no, wait. I have Brazen Borrower. That's all good. So I think unless they're playing Mindbreak Trap here, we should be fine. I don't see them boarding in Surgical Extraction against this, and even then, that's not like a complete, that's not a certain loss. So, we are go for launch. The pile has to be Lotus Petal, Consider, LED, Cycler, Thassa. Like so. Thassa on the bottom with the Cycler on top, and then Lotus Petal just has to be the top card. So we cycle and hope for no Mindbreak Traps. We'll put back a blank and Consider, play out the LED, and we cast Consider and draw Edge of Autumn. Oh no, never mind. Draw the Thassa, I mean. Alright, and Thassa's in, so there's a game 3. That's nice. I don't know if I'm supposed to board in extra removal on the draw here in some kind of where the logic would somehow be like the game is going to go longer. Probably not. Let's just resubmit. All right. A very slow hand. An opponent is mulliganing to 6. I think I will mulligan this as well. I'll keep this. It's probably worse than the other hand, but I don't want to go down to 5 and this plays magic. Maybe I'll bottom a Force of Will. Looks like they have a turn 1 something or other. Guide of Souls, I'll force this. Bowmaster doesn't kill it. It's like a pretty, it's like an engine card for them. Doomsday. I was gonna Hedge Maze here. Does Doomsday change that? Like, if I draw consecutive lands, it does, but I think getting the Hedge Maze and getting the Surveil is worth it. Let's get rid of a Doomsday. Very happy I'm not drawing a second copy of that. Like, obviously, if they have Surgical, you know, they can lay off all the way to the bank. But, oh, no. Wasteland. My weakness. At least they didn't have another 1-drop. Okay. Misty Rainforests. I dig it. That lets us get Undercity Sewers. Guarantees we can play Bowmasters next turn. Gets us closer to casting Doomsday. And this is kind of a weak second land to play. They put a card on top though. Wonder what that might be. Fetching Sewers here. Tamiyo. How do I feel about Tamiyo? I think honestly Tamiyo goes away here. And we keep looking for the 3rd black land. Let's pass. Alright, so they really like what they saw. Ooh, I'm very glad I got rid of Tamiyo. Okay, this is Najani. But the flip is a May? I didn't know that. Tamiyo's flip is not a May, right? No. Okay. That was probably a bad card for us. So what happens if I kill this, he flips. Why can't I see it? Okay, there we go. So he flips, and then he can make a creature, and then it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control. Wow. But you need to control a red permanent, okay. Other than a Johnny, right. I think I might flash in the Bowmasters here. They're incentivized not to flip him, because then the Bowmasters puts 2 damage on Planeswalker Najani. Or Ajani, what's his name? Wasn't there a Najani? No, I think I'm making that up. Didn't think so. Hey, that's a Dark Ritual. Alright, I will cast Doomsday here, go to 9. The risk, the thing I'm probably most concerned about is Pyroblast, if I'm being honest. I could just go for, like, draw Brainstorm and then try and put a blue card in my hand, but then I'm not playing out the land because then I need to put something back. So that's probably not going to be a thing. Yeah, do I just accept that I can't beat a Pyroblast? I mean, they tapped out of Pyroblast here when they didn't need to, right? They could have tapped the Caracas instead, so maybe I should read that as they don't have Pyroblast. They can Wasteland me once at most. But if they do Wasteland me, then I can't consider, consider can't like be part of it. Maybe I'm just supposed to make a Brainstorm pile because then you know, we accept that. All right, maybe that's good enough. So Brainstorm, we give up on Cavern of Souls. That loses, or at least probably loses to Deafening Silence. But again, if they had that, I think they deploy Deafening Silence rather than keep up Caracas. All right, so this is just the standard thing. We're not taking damage because there are no Street Wraiths. I think I'm going to go with this. And we'll see how it plays out. And I guess I'm not going to play out this island here because it doesn't matter. And maybe it will incentivize them to prioritize a wasteland rather than something else. Let's hope they can't kill us outright on this turn at least. It's another land. It's not a wasteland. They're not attacking. That concerns me. Like, so they have 3 cards that are just not doing anything, so they're reactive cards most likely. And there's a long pause here. Disruptor Flute. Okay. Disruptor Flute. Disruptor Flute is not GG's here. Doesn't mean we have to kind of set things up a little bit differently. So I will, yeah, let's put back, what do we put back here? So if they wasteland me next turn, then I can't cast the Consider as well as the Thassa. No, wait, I can. No, I can't. If they wasteland me, I can't. I can also just put back Edge, uh, Force of Will, and then what? Edge and Force of Will, and then I can Consider on their turn. But then if they have a second flute, then I probably would want to Force of Will, yeah. Alright, let's put back LED and Edge. We put back LED and Edge. We play out our island and we pass. If actual nothing happens next turn, like my life isn't threatened more than it is right now, then I might consider just going for another turn. Okay, they're redeploying that. That's fine. If they do stuff here and I don't fear another flute, I will consider on my end of turn. Yeah, get a Johnny and a second one. How does that work? This is just to make another creature. That's fine. They still don't control like another permanent. That's red, I mean. So they can't shoot us here. And they plus their squad. Okay, I think that means we're clear to land here. I'll just draw this Edge of Autumn. Thank you very much. Then we get to play this Black Lotus here, Snicker, and that does it for the Disruptor Flute. And they didn't leave up red mana, so we don't have to worry about blast. Sweet. Like, threaded that needle. That was a little bit interesting. All right, off to round number 3. All right, I think I said round 3. I meant round 4. We're on the draw here. I'll keep this hand. Unless we're getting turn 1, I think it's a pretty decent hand. Basic Island Ponder. That typically does not proceed into a kill you on the same turn, but you know, stranger things have happened. No shuffle. Okay. LED. Yeah, not the best draw, but not the worst either, I guess. Alright, Prismatic Vista in an Island Ponder deck, so maybe like some kind of Jeskai control. Tameo, okay. And a Ponder, okay. You got it. So if I can surveil my way into a Dark Ritual, there's a pretty good chance I can win next turn. But that's asking a lot, I realize. They shuffle, okay. Here is the tricky part. If I find something like a Bowmasters or something, you know, do I want that? Probably not. I also don't want a 4th land, which I get anyways. Okay. I will cast Brainstorm here. Alright, tell you what, I will, I'll put back Swamp, and I will put back Brazen Borrower. Oh, maybe it was supposed to be land, but I will try and kind of divert their attention with this Tameo, and if there's any way we can get them to tap out or spend valuable resources like a counterspell on this Tameo, then it's worth it for next turn. But well, they didn't counter it. Lanes. Looks like we're getting Tameo's meeting a prismatic ending. What is up with that? Well, I'll take any gift I can. I do not understand why the opponent cracks the clue mid-combat, but I mean even at any point during their turn. Okay, I don't get a land that would, or not land like a Cycler or a Petal or a Dark Ritual that would like just ultra reward this, but guess I am still just elbow tapping this brains or this Doomsday here. Guess they could have double force, in which case I am kind of screwed. Oh, that just happened. No force of will. Okay. Let's see. Cavern of Souls. This is like a deck that could reasonably be expected to have stuff like Dress Sound maybe in the main deck. So we could choose to put like a Force of Will in here, but not sure if that's something we're interested in. We also have to we have to consider that they could play back to basics, but if they do, I can daze it, and then I will with the Cavern of Souls and the Underground Sea I pick up, I will have two untapped lands to make Thassa. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna play around Dress Down. They could have it, but I think trying to make this more complicated than it needs to be with like a Force of Will, and then I have to resolve Brainstorm, and if I don't resolve Brainstorm, then what? I give them yet another turn. So I am going to put Thassa on top of the Cavern here. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have Daze, because if I didn't have Daze, I couldn't pick up an Underground Sea, and then I would be cold to back to basics. And then having Thassa on the bottom means I could cycle Crack LED. But as it is, like if they go like tap out next turn, I might just want to cycle through and put Thassa in play and have Daze. But we'll see. And we pass. I suppose casting Brainstorm next turn also lets me again with the cracking of the clue. What's up, opponent? I don't get this. I'm very confused. Um, and tapping both islands to do so as well. There's suddenly a wasteland here. Okay. Well, but what I was going to say is I could cast Brainstorm right now, and then when on this turn if Brainstorm resolves. So I think I'll try that, and that did resolve. All right, sweet. I don't know what they could have that costs 1 white mana that helps them here. So let's cycle through here, sack the city, oh the sewers I mean, to get my cavern, and we'll name Merfolk. All right, sweet. They concede. So a Azorius mid-range deck because of Wasteland. I think we want Cavern of Carpet of Flowers. I mean, I think Abrupt Decay and Long Goodbye are decent shouts here. I think the second Bowmasters, and I think the Flusterstorm maybe, maybe not actually. Like if games go long versus this type of opponent, there is a very real chance of them sitting with like 4, 5, 6 lands in play, and then Flusterstorm suddenly is not all that interesting. I think we board out Barrogoyf. I think we board out Murktide. And I think we board out the Brazen Borrower. The Brazen Borrower team now that we have other things that can remove stuff. Bouncing versus blue decks is typically, I think, less ideal. I'm going to keep in my LED and consider, because I think it's a low opportunity cost. I'll board out one cycler. And having the ability to just like push the I win button on the same turn, sometimes it's worth it if we get to a point where either we have no choice because we're dead the next turn, or we know their hand and we just want to do that. I suppose this is worth keeping, so let's do that. They also kept 7. No turn 1 Tameo for them. I have 2 of those, so I will, and I'll fetch Basic Island because now they've shown us Wasteland. And they daze, okay. Double Basic Island, Basic Plains in a Daze Wasteland deck is not something you see every day. I wonder what the costs of doing business are. I'd love another land, I guess. I think I will. Well, no, maybe I will brainstorm here looking for another land. And we do get it, so let's get rid of Dark Ritual, and maybe it's LED. Like having LED and Cycler and Doomsday kind of has a lot of appeal to it, but I think on the whole, maybe it's better this way. So what are we fetching here? Basic Plains. Sure. And a Stone Forge. Okay. I might just surveil here looking for... Maybe I'm actually supposed to take my draw the LED, um, and then crack the fetch and then brainstorm. That gives us a look at 3 cards, and if any one of those are like Daze or Force of Will, I think maybe we just get to win here. What did they get? Was it Crypt? Okay, I'll get the Swamp then. Let's cast Brainstorm. Okay, so we could... Let's get rid of Hedge Maze here. And probably Tameo. And let's play out this carpet here. Like, if I could get them to like force here. I don't expect them to, but okay, so that's in. Maybe I will just cast this Bowmasters um, to use my mana right now. Like, they might have Prismatic Ending next turn. Bowmasters is in. They probably have Plow for that, but we'll see. They have a Wasteland. Gross. Second Stoneforge, okay. Probably getting Meteor Sword would be my guess. No, Jite. Wow. Have not seen an Umasawa's Jite for a hot minute. This used to be like... When I started playing Legacy in 2012, the Stoneforge Mystic package was basically an Umasawa's Jite and a Batterskull. And every Stoneforge deck played those two and those two only. I guess sometimes they would have like a Sword of Fire and Ice or whatever. Or Feast and Famine. Yeah, I mean, Jite pretty good versus Orcish Bowmasters. They do Wasteland me here, making Days a live draw for me. Oh, damn. I mean, we know 2 of their cards. They're Cryptic Coat and Jite. They did pause for a second on the carpet. I think they have a counter spell. All right, I'm just gonna pass here. They can't. They've sort of delayed their own Stoneforge here to get the second one on. I really would like some kind of protection, like a Veil of Summer or Thoughtseize. So I will fetch. Them tapping out so readily makes me think they probably don't have. Look at the Hedge Maze here. They probably don't have Consign Memory, but they could still have it, obviously. Come on, deck! No more lands! Days. Day late and $1 short. Okay. I will just. I'll pass here. I'll lose my Stoneforge or my Orcish Bowmasters, but that's fine. I'm guessing this is Jite. Jite. No, okay, it's not. Well, now what I really hope is that they have a 4th land and they elbow tap the Jite in and equip it. That's probably too much to ask for, but they already lost to a Daze. Or I guess they didn't lose to a Daze. They tapped out into a Daze and then lost, but they didn't have the force last game. But no, looks like there's none of that. No Jite. Keep the powder dry. I'm at 13. Veil of Summer. So is that good enough? I guess. Yeah, I will try this. I'll float black. I can hit a Thoughtseize off of this Veil. Alright, let's cast Doomsday. If they have like 2 counterspells, then it doesn't matter. Force Pitch Ponder. So their hand is Jite plus 2 more. Okay, I will Veil of Summer. See where that takes us. Okay, they return Cryptic Coat to their hand. I guess that means they have another force. Alright. That is not good. I will cycle this edge here. And now I can't even hit a second Veil if I did have it. Alright, I'll concede to that. I will concede to that. So, does anything change here? I don't think so. I'm pretty happy with the look of this. So their hand was... There was still one card we didn't know about, but we've not seen Consign of Memory so far. Maybe they aren't aware of like all the new cards. No, I'm sorry, I'm just joking, because obviously they are. But they were playing Cryptic Coat. But alright, we'll be on the play. Oh no. Have to mulligan this. And I guess I will I'll get rid of Bowmasters. I don't think I can afford to play out the Tameo here. I will play Misty, get the Surveil, and then be ready with a if I hit a black, if I find a black land. Meanwhile, they are pondering. Okay, so happy that it's not Tameo at least. Boundary City Sewers, and we do get a land, so pretty happy with that. Let's fetch, and now it's a question if it's Bayou or Underground Sea. I think it has to be Underground Sea, probably. Oh no, maybe it's Bayou. Yeah, changed my mind. Because like one of our blue cards is going to be Cavern of Souls anyways, and then we have another one in our hand. I guess if they have two wastelands, it's potentially something of a problem. Force of Negation. What the heck is this art? Some nonsense. Okay, and they pitched a Ponder. My force resolved, and so does my Doomsday. Alright, so Cavern of Souls, we know we need that, and we need Thassa. They have no threat in play. Thoughtseize seems prudent. And the question is if we want to play around two wastelands here, or if we want to like cut a turn off. So if I go draw Cycler, then if they tap out on the next turn, then so like let's say okay, not next turn, but like in 2 turns, if they tap out, so they don't have to worry about dress down or consigning memory, I can then, I guess, no, where am I going with this? I'm trying to see if there's a way I can, on the same turn, play the Hedge Maze, get rid of Thoughtseize, cycle through the pile, but I can't because I can't play Hedge Maze and Cavern on the same turn. So, but I still like this pile. And let's put Cavern on the bottom and Thassa on top. And I will draw the cyclers first, I guess. Pass. I am on an effective 4 here, which means if they were to just like slap down Stoneforge next turn, get Cauldra, I would need to Thoughtseize the Cauldra, I guess. Or just not Thoughtseize at all. It's not a wasteland, it is a Stoneforge. Okay. They're getting what? So I think I will not play as though they have. I will not play as though they have Cauldron in hand. They've not shown, like, they've shown that they have gone for other things. Wasteland. They're not using the Wasteland. That's interesting. Maybe that does tell a story about, what's its face? Consigning memory. They want to be able to replicate. But now there's a pause in my upkeep, so maybe they are thinking about wastelanding. So I could cycle the Street Wraith, get edge, and get some equity out of this Hedge Maze. The problem is that if they then do have Cauldra, then I'm dead. Oh no, never mind, I'm not dead to the Cauldra. Yeah, maybe I am just supposed to do that. Like, not losing to Cauldra doesn't mean not cycling Street Wraith, it means not casting Thoughtseize. And now I do lose to another Wasteland because I will have to pass. So it is what it is. Here comes Stoneforge. Batterskull. Okay. So I'm taking 5 next turn. So Thoughtseize is off. So we do lose to Dress Down or Consign to Memory here, as well as another Wasteland. Disruptor Flute now also among the cards that beat us. Another Stoneforge. So that means, like, they have lethal on me here. Completely lethal on me, right? Even if I were to remove one of their creatures, I'm at 1. So, if they had Consigned to Memory, surely they would keep open more mana to replicate, right? Well, maybe not. Who knows? We will find out. So, in a moment, we will know. Let's choose Merfolk. No Dress Down, so it's Stifle or Consign to Memory that they need to have here. Force of Will. Yep. Sweet. Okay, they just had the force. All right, GG's opponent. Off to round number 5. All right, round 5. Positive record ensured, and we're on the draw once more. And this is a close one. I think I will. Oh, do I mulligan here? No, I'm gonna keep. Like mulliganing to 6 is almost the same as just keeping this hand and then cantripping off of the pedal. Obviously, if we get the pedal Thoughtseize or if they have days for the Ponder or whatever, it's not ideal. It's Island deck. Island Ponder, yet again. No shuffle. A land, as has been the case many times in this league, a land is the best draw that I could ask for here. We don't get one. I'm going to cycle just to increase my chances of, because like missing on the land here would be catastrophic. Okay, there is a land. It is a land that gets got by Wasteland, but beggars can't be choosers, as the saying goes. Alright, pass. And now opponent knows what we are. Only one deck in Legacy plays Street Wraith and Lotus Petal. So anything short of a Wasteland here I feel somewhat okay. Okay, Lorien revealed. This could be Omnitel. Ponder again. Okay, I will pass. Or I won't do anything here. I think I'm drawing Brainstorm and then Barrogoyf. So casting a Brainstorm now only sees 2 new cards. And they shuffle, huh? Okay. I still think it's correct to Brainstorm here. Ugh. I will hide Doomsday and Thoughtseize. And then I'll pass. And pray this Lorien revealed Underground Sea deck isn't also playing Wasteland. Well, that's not Wasteland. Merchant Scroll. Okay. Is this some kind of High Tide deck that's splashing black? I've never seen that before. Okay, no. They get Force of Will. Okay. Merchant Scroll. That's such a cool card. And Ponder Numero Tres. Okay. They don't shuffle. They have 5 cards, one of which is a Force of Will. I'm really excited about this Thoughtseize. I don't know about you, but I could imagine them forcing this Thoughtseize and then having their Force Dazed for maximum blowout here, but we'll see. Like, if what they got was Force, that means probably there's a Show and Tell in their hand or whatever else the combo that they're playing is. Here's the Thoughtseize. If they do Force here, I'll Daze, replay my land, and cast Tamiyo, and they do Force. Num 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 num. Daze, yeah. Daze resolved. Turnabout. It is. High Tide. What they pitch? Lorien. So they have nothing. Nothing. What's more important to Time Spiral here, or to High Tide? Is it the Time Spiral or the Turnabout? They're about to have 4 mana, so if they have High Tide, then Turnabout just gains the more mana, but the Time Spiral is what they go off with. I'm gonna obviously Turnabout is better if they draw like Mind's Desire. Okay. So we leave them with a Turnabout and an Underground Sea. Suddenly I feel so good about my hand. Merchant Scroll. This probably gets High Tide. So now I'm going to draw Doomsday, I'll get my clue, and then I'll flip Tamiyo. And then next turn, Tamiyo is picking up Thoughtseize. Let's brainstorm. Well, I mean, we also just get... No, we don't quite get to win next turn. Well, we do, because we can pick up Brainstorm. Let's get rid of Barrogoyfs here. I still just can't find a land to save my life. Imagine if our opponent was a Wasteland deck, we would have been so far dead. It's not even funny. Alright, any spell they put on the stack here, I like that isn't, especially if it's not High Tide or Turnabout, I will just force, because then I know I'll just win next turn. Or if they play a land here, I know I can win next turn. Brainstorm, yep, that counts. Force of Will, pitch Tamiyo, and now they're dead. Alright, so we minus Tamiyo to pick up Brainstorm here. And then we execute our combo. Hang on. Turnabout can't mess with me here, right? Choose our tap all untapped permanents of chosen type. Or untap, yeah. So I mean they can tap my tap land or tap my Thassa when she resolves. We could pick a land rather than Lotus Petal, but I think Petal is fine here. So we'll put Thassa on the bottom with a Cycler on top, and then just Lotus Petal as the top card. And we cycle the edge, and cast our Brainstorm, put back blank, and consider. And then we cycle the Street Wraith, and draw consider. Alright, and they concede. Okay, Carpet Flowers, Veil of Summer, good cards here. Flusterstorm and Force of Negation likewise, and Orcish Bowmasters also. They did show us black mana. Does that mean they could be playing Barrogoyfs like out of the sideboard? Maybe. Does that mean I should be respecting it? Probably not. We'll get rid of. I think here I will get rid of Lines Out and Consider because they are probably going to be really loaded on counterspells, and I need to make room for stuff. And I'll get rid of one Cycler. And then I think it's probably the Brazen Borrowers. Though for some reason I just would feel a little bit good about having something. Oh, hang on. I'll leave in one Brazen Borrower and board out the Murktide. All right, on the draw here, of course, and this hand seems pretty good. I'll keep it. Opponent is doing something on their first turn here. I hope it's not Thoughtseize, but if it is, we'll just have to accept it. Okay, it's not. Ponder. I think I will take a turn off casting Carpet next turn, rather than just stay safe and keep Veil plus Force up, because I don't think they can combo on turn 2. They don't shuffle though. Yeah, let's get probably Bayou. Cast the Carpet. Alright, Carpet is in. Guess that means I'm pondering here. Another Force, another Carpet, another Doomsday. I mean, I kind of dig all of this. Let's grab the Force now, and then we'll grab the Carpet on our next draw step. And next turn, my Carpet is probably making green to cast the second Carpet. They have a Brainstorm in the main. Go ahead. Something that makes stuff uncounterable, like Mistrized Village, would be my biggest concern here. But they didn't show us green mana or red, so I'm feeling pretty safe there. But okay, they found a fetch land and main phasing in the Undercity Sewers. That's interesting. That means no Thoughtseize this turn. Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, cool. Yeah, basically next turn I just don't want to leave to take down green for any reasons. I'm gonna make 2 green here, and I'll play my Carpet. And now I could just play my land here. I could pass and then like make 3 or 2 black, and no, that's not gonna happen. Doomsday is on top of my deck. All right, I think I will just pass here with double Force Veil, and then next turn is going to be my big turn. Merchant Scroll, sure. Gets maybe Flusterstorm, would be my guess. Oh, they get Spell Pierce, okay. Spell Pierce, not amazing versus double Carpet, or yeah, double Carpet of Flowers. I think I need to make black here. That does mean I'm not winning on the same turn. But that is how this has to work if I want to also have Veil up. Alright, let's if they pierce here, I will pay with the floating black and the island. Force of Negation, pitching, Mind's Desire. I'll Veil that. Maybe I'm supposed to play around Flusterstorm better and like pitch a card to force their force here. And then they fluster, then I Veil, but I mean, yeah, well, we'll see. Okay, so, and that just drew a useless second copy of Doomsday. Alright, I guess I want Thoughtseize, Thassa, Cyclers. I'll just make a lot of blue, and I'll have Thoughtseize double Force, and then they have 3 cards, so it's all good. I guess I'll put Cavern of Souls as the bottom card here. Okay, Cavern on the bottom, Thassa, cyclers and then Thoughtseize, I guess. And we will pass. I'll have to Force of Will a High Tide here, I think, because they've shown us Mind's Desire. I think actually I am just going to win on the next turn with Thoughtseize and Force, single Force. That requires me to cast both my cantrips here, but I'll have so much blue mana. Force of Will enter, okay. And I will just make blue mana here with both carpets. Make the blue, make more blue, and then I will cycle and cycle the edge. This draws... Oh, no, hang on. I can't do that. I have to cast Brainstorm now if I want to do what I want to do. I guess if they force this, it's... I probably don't force back. Maybe I do. Force, pitch High Tide, force, pitch, force. Brainstorm, put back Thassa Cavern. Cast Thoughtseize. Show me double Consign Memory and I'll hate my life forever. No. None of the above. Not even one. Alright. Cast Ponder. Any order shuffle. And we'll cycle to empty the deck. But they don't have a counter spell, so I don't even need to play the Cavern. Alright, cool. Alright, so a 4-1 finish with Bug Tempo Doomsday. I think the deck performed fairly well, except, in spite perhaps of the glaring, annoying difficulties they had with the mana base. I think I would tweak it. I would probably, like I said, add second Undercity Sewers over Hedge Maze. And then maybe I would like to find room for a second Lotus Petal. I'm not sure what I would cut. Maybe... yeah, I don't know. Maybe a Thoughtseize, because we went up on interaction in this list with the one Veil, so like maybe a Thoughtseize or a Daze. I'm not sure I like going down to 2 Dazes though. But I think the deck all in all performed well. We beat the blue decks that we were put in front of us, which is kind of what you want to see here. And then we lost to Oops All Spells. I mean, that can happen. That was, I think, somewhat close, and then the opponent just like really crushed us in game 3 with a great opening hand. I'm not sure about this. It's difficult, right? I don't think the deck becomes like all of a sudden magnificent versus Wasteland if you go Dimir, and it's terrible if you're Bug, but it is a cost, obviously. You get more wonkiness here. But okay, let me know what you think. Have you dabbled with Bug? What do you think about adding the third color? I'll be back with more Legacy soon, so until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.